Hello, hi everyone, a very good evening. I hope you all had a very wonderful day so far and you are enjoying your weekend as well. So, at this point of time, I have come with some of the important stuff with my talk time for your me time. Welcoming you all for the 8th episode for season 1 in Me Time Talk with Parag. As I have mentioned, it would be 21 days of a series of podcasts with a content on handling a meeting, which is a part of each and everyone's professional life, and we should know and understand the structures, the conduction processes, and all the components that need to be assigned before and the ongoing meeting to make it as an effective one. Now, the purpose of making this series on a particular 21 podcast for a particular topic of meeting is if you'll find and ask everyone in professional life, they will definitely have a view on a meeting which would be decided for one topic, but the content of discussion would be deviated out of that from that. Then the time limit which has been assigned for either 30 minutes or 1 hour, the discussion will run after 1 hour as well. The motive and the goal of a particular meeting is normally not made and not being achieved within that particular period of the time. So as per the consequences, the extra time effort for deciding a meeting time, checking the availability of the associated professionals, checking the mode of the meeting, all kind of extra time waste is happening. To address that waste of time, to save those times, to provide insights how to start deciding and planning on a particular meeting and how to conduct that, this with this particular content, I came here to share few of my knowledge how you can address each and every day's meeting, whether it's maybe your work related or personal related, to meet the objective in that certain period of time. So here we go. The series of this meeting content would be for 21 days, and as I mentioned in my short video, each meeting to be called as a perfect meeting, it has 21 factors to be addressed and to be taken care of. So in that context, each day I will be discussing about one important content, and it would be definitely help you to go through each and every content regularly to get the complete idea after the end of this 21 days of series. So now let's start of this. Some another way, I read this one statement from Thomas J. Watson, and who is the founder of IBM. He mentioned the starting point in making a successful meeting is only being decided and only being fixed when you plan for it in advance. So let's start with this particular quote and see what's there for 2 days in this particular series of 21 days. So before addressing and scheduling a meeting, nowadays people, irrespective of their position and the role in the team, they has been asked to schedule a meeting, and they have to be taken the responsibility to schedule a meeting to convey some information to their peers or colleagues. So before that, the first and foremost thing to be aware of is what kind of meeting it is. Without knowing that, you can't proceed with scheduling a meeting, because before scheduling a meeting there is a lot of component need to be taken care. So the first, you need to understand the purpose of the meeting, and you need to categorize that purpose in terms of types of meeting. So if you find the particularly in depth, there is 5 types of meeting. The first one is about the information sharing, the second problem solving, operational, the next one is something called committee meeting, and the last one is called teaching and the training meeting. So we'll see with an example on each and every meetings, and that will definitely help you to understand the complete meeting scenario and the types of it. And when you the next Monday, the coming Monday week, when you will be scheduling your meeting, whichever meeting you want, you need to think on that, how I will take my first step in achieving the meetings rules and regulations. The first one, we are talking about the information sharing. This meeting is kind of providing the status call to our clients or to our peers or among our colleagues. So where we were particularly sharing one particular information related to one particular topic or a particular context. This is a process oriented meeting, and it is not aimed for a specific target or goal to be met. But as I mentioned, we need to be conscious about the topic and the goal, and of course at the same time the time limit that we have mentioned. So information sharing, for an example, now in every company they are following these Scrum calls, being a part of this agile transformation. The Scrum meeting and everyday Scrum call is nothing but the information sharing, where people will share the status of their previous day's work, right? So moving to the second type of meeting, which is called problem solving. In a steel industry or in manufacturing industry mostly, when the plant breakdown happened, okay, suddenly the plant will stop with a problem, then the experts in that particular field, they will come together, they will try to solve this particular problem on a work footing. The most important part of this kind of meeting is there is no certain time duration, because nobody knows when we will be solving this particular problem. In IT also, some kind of, when people used to come, a critical matters and issues solving, there would be a problem solving call. So that also doesn't have any kind of time width. So we have to work on that. Along with that, the efficiency and effectiveness of the associates who is handling that particular issue, handling that issues, they would be more efficient in terms of their actions. So if you'll ask in a particular sentence, the problem solving meetings vary in terms of their length depending on the size and complexity of the problem need to be solved. Moving to the third type of meeting, which is called the operational type. And this third type, when it brings together the people from different departments, is basically the cross-functional meeting, where we will discuss about the dependency on each other in a cross-functional team towards meeting a particular goal. For example, suppose you are planting a tree, and we are having a department who will provide the resources, seeds, or maybe the kind of fertilizers, and then the watering providing plant, and the space providing plant. So all these departments need to be come together to discuss on a particular what kind of tree, where to plant, how to plant. This kind of planning need to be done in this kind of operational kind of meeting. Moving to the second last, which is committee meeting, which is having a standard format where people will come together to review the progress and monitor it in together with collaborative actions. So for an example, the quality circle in steel industry, they are following CCQC and NCQC and ICQC, where they will talk about the quality of production, quality of manufacturing processes, and of course the part of that is Kaizen and TQM and other those kind of stuff. So this kind of meeting, when there is a frequently that will happen in a circular basis, which will have the only one motive, like to improve the quality, develop recommendation from management, implement those in the current actions. These are the most important part, which deals with the quality of the manufacturing and ongoing processes. Now the last and the most important types of meeting is teaching and training. This fifth type of meeting is very much essential in perspective of human resources and talent development and engagement, where people will come together to train a certain mass of group of people, so that will help them to improve the quality and expertise in particular technology and processes, right? The purpose here is to only instruct the participants in some kind of new subjects, maybe some new technology has been implemented. Suppose in one database management project, new project has come in the cloud. Suppose the complete database will move to the Azure or maybe Google Cloud or maybe AWS. So before assigning the work, people will come together, they will be trained on Azure, AWS or Google Cloud, then they will be assigned the task. So that kind of example is coming here in this last type of training and meeting types. At last, many meetings have elements of all these kind of 5 categories that we have discussed. But to make a meeting effective and a perfect meeting, as a start with and a begin with, it must be clear to everyone which basic type of meeting is belongs to. So what will happen, in regard to it is when people will be clear about the content and the types of meeting. So the discussion orientation on this particular meeting will be towards that. So the scope of deviation from that particular meeting will be reduced drastically. I would recommend to try this kind of conceptual level of clarity when you are scheduling and deciding a meeting, and the chair of each and every meeting to make their other participant clear irrespective of position they are being held, we are having the objective is this and we are conducting the meeting about this and the agendas are this, and I request to all the participant to be adhere to the goal and the context of this meeting without any deviation. Then you can, so that depicts that you are clear about the meeting, about the content, types of meeting, and you are suggesting others to adhere to that. So that will show kind of your leadership qualities and the content and the types of meeting that you are going to handle. So this was about the first factor in the first day of 21 days series to know about the perfect meeting. I hope you enjoyed, and this content will definitely help you in your career, in your office work, maybe your personal life as well. So who are doing freelancing job, we are working for any companies, management consulting or any marketing agency, so definitely it will work for all of you as well. Then the second episode will come, of course it's tomorrow. We'll be define how to find a purpose of a meeting and why it is so important. So till then, stay safe, stay home, a very good night. Bye bye everyone.